The Nigeria police force has reportedly arrested Jasem Michael, a notorious scammer from Cross River, for defrauding over 127 countries of approximately $87 billion. According to reports, Michael's properties have been seized, and a significant amount of dollars in billions and other crypto assets were found in his wallet. However, investors who fell victim to his scam are still awaiting refunds, and the bad element in the Nigeria police are being used by the scammer to sabotage the refund of capital to the victim he scammed. It's alarming that some police officers have allegedly been compromised and accepted bribes to aid Michael's release from custody. These officers are now reportedly defending the scammer and hindering efforts by investors to recover their losses. The situation raises concerns about corruption within the police force and the need for transparency and accountability in the handling of Michael's case. Investors are eagerly awaiting refunds, and it's essential that the police ensure justice is served and that those responsible for the scam are held accountable. The investors appeal to the Inspector General of Police (IGP) to aid in hasten the modality in which the victims of the AAS platform will be paid. They're a campaign against CSP Taiwo Oyewale orchestrated by Jasem Michael and his co-conspirators, the real story behind the investigative article. An investigative journalist familiar with the case. In recent days, an investigative article has been making the rounds online, purporting to reveal a sensational story of police collusion and abuse of power centered on CSP Taiwo Oyewale and the IGP Special Investigation Unit, IGP SHU. However, a thorough review of the evidence and first-hand accounts exposes this piece for what it truly is, a poorly executed public relations ploy, bankrolled by Mr. Jasem Michael, the embattled CEO of Arbitrage System, AAS, and enabled by a faction of high-ranking police officers intent on distracting from the real issue, the looting of investor funds and possible financial crimes on a grand scale. The article in question is saturated with bizarre insinuations like claims that CSP Taiwo demanded 30 plots of land or tens of millions of naira from Mr. Jasem Michael, or that she is personally orchestrating attacks on him to avenge a supposed romantic fallout. Such allegations are not only unsubstantiated but also a brazen attempt to fling mud at an officer whose real offense is that she courageously insisted on unveiling the truth behind AAS's questionable operations. It is telling that the writer behind this piece offered no empathy toward the countless AAS investors left stranded worldwide, desperate to recover the money they entrusted to Jasem Michael. This glaring omission is consistent with how classic mafia-like operations work: protect the boss at all costs, smear anyone who dares to challenge him, and ignore the suffering of ordinary people. If these so-called investigators truly had any interest in justice, they would have spared at least one line acknowledging the plight of thousands of investors who remain unpaid, disillusioned, and, in many cases, financially devastated. For those new to the saga, it bears emphasizing that Jasem Michael was a driving force behind the now defunct crypto's OTC trading platform, COTP, a project that similarly collapsed amid accusations of running a pyramid scheme, promising unsustainably high daily returns before abruptly locking out withdrawals. COTP was registered in Colorado in the United States, and in a neat parallel, AAS was also registered in Colorado. This is no coincidence, it is simply Mr. Michael's second attempt at the same con, with a slightly different facade. In COTP's meltdown, investors were told that technical issues and hacks prevented them from withdrawing their funds. At AAS, Mr. Michael cast a scapegoat in the person of Abayami the hacker to explain why investor withdrawals mysteriously stopped. The pattern couldn't be clearer. What started as a too-good-to-be-true investment scheme, luring victims with daily ROI illusions, has predictably devolved into accusations, contrived alibis, and smear tactics. Insiders within law enforcement have confirmed that Jasem Michael tried to flee the country once it became clear his game was up. Even then, he found allies in the police force, officers alleged to be compromised, blackmailed, or both, eager to help him out of this predicament. Facing an unyielding SHU commander in CSP Taiwo, he resorted to a well-worn strategy, concoct outrageous, salacious stories about romance, extortion, and secret demands, hoping to topple her credibility and deflect from his own wrongdoing. Yet, if there was any legitimate evidence that CSP Taiwo demanded 30 plots of land, or 80 million naira, or any other outrageous bribe from Jasem Michael, one would expect it to have surfaced by now. Instead, the text messages and chat transcripts making the rounds only show Jasem himself raising the subject of land. He was, and remains, eager to spin a narrative that implicates the SHU commander in a scandal with zero factual basis. While these so-called investigative bloggers fixate on salacious claims about phone calls and property demands, they ignore the pivotal issues. What about the billions of dollars allegedly laundered through AAS with the high-profile Nigerian politicians? Why is there no mention of the thousands of victims whose monies remain inaccessible and the global outcry for justice? If Jasem truly has evidence of wrongdoing on CSP Taiwo's part, why has it not been presented publicly in any verifiable form? Did Jasem Michael lie about having a life-threatening medical condition, a liver transplant, to buy time while continuing to solicit funds? Why do top police officials keep insulating him from facing the full weight of the law? Amid this swirling storm of misinformation, one fundamental fact remains unchallenged. CSP Taiwo Oyewale is bent on resolving this matter. She has not backed down despite repeated acts of intimidation and blackmail. The recent leaked articles and questionable witness statements are transparent attempts to oust her from the investigation, thus allowing Jasem Michael and his backers to rewrite the script. If the SHU commander were truly corrupt or compromised, Jasem would have no difficulty in silencing or removing her outright, given the array of compromised officials we now know he has on speed dial. Instead, she stands firm, supported by those within the Nigeria police force who refuse to betray their oath for bribes or blackmail. Any rational observer sees that the real heartbreak in this ordeal is the plight of the uncountable investors who have lost fortunes, some their life savings, just so Jasem Michael could finance an opulent lifestyle and maintain cozy relationships with complicit officers. These half-baked propaganda pieces fail on two fronts. First, they do not disprove the allegations of massive fraud, money laundering, or investor victimization. Second, they reveal the unscrupulous nature of their authors, who show no regard for the plight of ordinary citizens scammed out of their hard-earned capital. Above all else, it is a desperate gambit by a cornered con artist who has infiltrated the police force at frightening levels, threatening to take them down if they don't protect him. For now, the smear campaign is laid bare for what it is, a vile, fear-mongering attempt to remove a determined police commander from the scene, sabotage the investigation, and keep the truth buried. Far from swaying public opinion, it underscores how deeply compromised certain corners of the system may be, and how crucial the unwavering pursuit of justice by credible officers like CSP Taiwo Oyewale continues to be. As I conclude my piece, I leave you with these pertinent questions and their answers. Did Jasem Michael run a fraudulent enterprise? Yes. Did Jasem Michael promise investors that they could recover their capital within 24 hours? Yes. Did Jasem Michael claim that he had a liver transplant? Yes. Did Jasem Michael actually undergo a liver transplant? No. Did Jasem Michael later deny having a liver transplant? Yes. Did Jasem Michael oppress investors with the aid of the then SHU commander? Yes. Did Jasem Michael attempt to flee the country after he realized his scheme was up? Yes. Did Jasem Michael lie to investors on several occasions about how secure the AAS system was? Yes. Did Jasem Michael transfer the properties recovered from Abayami into his own name instead of AAS? Yes. Did Jasem Michael help Nigerian politicians launder funds using his AAS platform as a funnel? Yes. Did CSP Taiwo conduct a sting operation on Jasem Michael? Yes. Is the Inspector General of Police aware of this sting operation? Yes. Are international law enforcement agencies aware of this investigation? Yes. Hope you like this video, so kindly support us by clicking the subscribe button, like this video, and share to encourage us create more interesting content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.